Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Dina, and we're the hosts of The Love Pod.
The Love Pod is a reality TV podcast that recaps our favorite shows.
We also talk to the stars of the show.
You can also tune in for our reality TV news bites, spoilers, spilling the tea, and casting updates from all your favorite reality shows.
Subscribe to listen to all the things we love about reality TV. Follow us on all the major social apps at Love Pod Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We love you.
I'm Dina. Welcome to the Love Pod Squad. Today, our very, very special guest is Mr. Brandon Baker. You may know him as Olivia, the, spoiler alert, winner of The Circle Season 6. Oh my God.
Can we believe it?
Yes. I mean, honestly, yes. I have never seen on Reddit, of all places, somebody more universally loved than you. There was not one negative comment, one like neutral comment, just so much love for you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for being here. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when we first spoke, I was like, oh my gosh, of course I'll come on your podcast. Like, that sounds so much fun.
So I'm going to, instead of giving you individual compliments, we're going to send you all those compliments at the front.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Well, if anybody from Reddit's watching, thank you.
Hopefully they are. Hello to everybody from Reddit, from the Circle Reddit.
Right.
And along with that and all those compliments, we have so many questions from the fans. So we're going to get right into those. Hopefully we'll have time for a game or two and maybe some of my questions. I mean,
yeah,
I'll take a back seat here.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so we're going to do it in order that the process happened. So we'll start with the audition and the casting process. And one of our Redditors wants to know what the audition and application process was like.
Oh my gosh. So it's really crazy because it all happens. It starts fast and then it gets so slow. So you send in a little video clip and everything, and then you wait like a few weeks or whatever. Then you get an email again. And then this whole process was over 5 months long. So you do interviews, you do Skype, like video calls, you do, at the very end, you do in-person stuff. So the audition process it's intense, but it's still kind of fun because it's exciting.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited for you, and I didn't even go through any of it.
Yeah, I highly encourage people to audition. It's worth it.
And what was the moment like when you found out that you were chosen for the show?
Oh my God, I screamed. I screamed so loud, and I instantly called my mother on because you don't find out you've actually gotten on the show till we were in Atlanta. And
wait till you're there?
Yeah. So they bring you to Atlanta and they're like, hey, you might not be on yet. It's still, you got one more thing to do. Yeah, exactly. So they called me the night before I moved in, and they were like on my little burner phone, like my little flip phone, because you don't get to keep yours.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, pack your bags, you move in the morning. So I screamed. I called my mom immediately, and I was like all the emotions. I was like, I'm so happy. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, this is not the first show I've ever auditioned for. So I was kind of used to rejection. And I was like, well, here we go again.
Now, what other shows have you auditioned for?
Oh my gosh, girl, back in the day, I was like, I wanted to be on The Real World. I wanted to be on all of them. I was like, I just want to entertain people. Let me do it.
And we're going to talk about that because I found your YouTube channel, and we'll chat about some things that were on there later. But first, there was a moment during the show in the very beginning of when you guys were filming where you were kind of upset. You felt like you weren't representing yourself well and maybe weren't doing well in the show. And so The Dolls Are the Dolls wants to know how you prepped yourself for the show and how your expectations going in differed from how it ended up playing out.
So going into the show, I was like, I've got this. Like, how hard can it be? I love to talk. Like I could talk with people all day long. I love it. So going in, I was like, I've got this. Now, once you're in, it kind of sinks in finally that you're not playing just you. Like the person you're playing through the screen is your catfish in my case.
Right.
So I was like, oh no, I have to be Olivia. I can't be Brandon. And then I got so caught up in trying to be Olivia that I was flopping, girl. I was flopping so hard. So I finally changed my mindset and I was like, you know what? No, we're gonna be Olivia, but we're gonna be Brandon. So it literally changed from me being just Olivia to me honestly being myself and using Olivia's face.
Yeah, you could really see that shift in the show of where you had that kind of lack of confidence and then turned it around and really made Olivia work for you. And speaking of Olivia, Crew Cabbage wants to know why you chose the name Olivia, because obviously your friend who you played is Claudia.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, Claudia, love you, girl.
Hi, Claudia.
I know. So for me, I was like, okay, it was an Olivia that introduced me and Claudia. So that was a fun little thing. And then I was like, the name Olivia just sounds, I don't know, who doesn't want to be friends with an Olivia? And
okay.
And I was also like, I wanted a nickname. And I was like, Liv. I was like, oh my God, Liv is such a good nickname. I was like, this is just going to be perfect. You know, because what I get in there and I'm like, yeah, you can call me Claude. You know, like it's cute. It's cute. But it just, I don't know. Olivia has such a good ring to it.
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, Olivia, I was like, Liv, we're golden with
Livy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then another user, Peachy Cat, wants to know if you're allowed to bring your own form of entertainment, like books, or do you have to just give whatever they provide and kind of deal with that?
Okay, so they tell you, so you have to make a list of everything you're going to bring. Okay, so I made that list and then I get there and they basically go through all your stuff and then they tell you then what you're allowed to take in and what you can't. So obviously I got to take, so I don't know if you saw, but I got to take in some pictures of my mom. I got to take in Frank. I got to take in, I can't really remember. There were a few things, but no, they provide you with like puzzles and puzzle books, which is really like, thank you, which is so nice. But they really do monitor what you take in with you, just because.
Yeah, you can't be slipping in a laptop or.
Right. But they do give you quite a bit of things to entertain you as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I mean, what else are you going to do? No internet, no only limited time in the gym or in the hot tub with Kyle. So you've got to make the best of it. And this question comes up a lot about the casting process. Do you have any advice for potential circle cast?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the advice that was given to me by someone in casting. It's literally so simple, but it's so true. Just be yourself. Do not go into a casting process and try to be a character, especially for unscripted TV. So obviously unscripted is very different from scripted. Unscripted, they're looking for the person you are. So do not go into the process as a character. I guess maybe it works for some people, but I think overall, not a good choice. Be yourself. Be big, like, take up space with your personality and just be you. Like, honestly.
Did you watch a lot of The Circle before being cast for the show?
Yeah. So I think before auditioning, I had watched 3 seasons. Yeah, 3 seasons. And then after I auditioned and I realized I was getting far in the casting process, I
Uh-huh.
binged it. I watched all 5 seasons that were out. I was like studying how different people played. Um, I had a lot of strategy. I don't think people got to see a
Oh.
ton of it, but I had a lot of strategy.
What would you say your number one strategy was?
Making sure I talked to the right people and said, like, I don't know. I think it was mostly like making sure I spoke to the right people. And if I
Okay.
did mess up, that I was like honest and I owned my mistake and apologized. I feel like that's the
You
best
did.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
really worked to your advantage. It seemed like with some of the other casts, when they would try to apologize, it backfired. But everything really just, the stars aligned for you to.
Right. I think when I apologized, it was very genuine and it wasn't
Yes.
gameplay. So
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think it's kind of funny because you always are playing the game, but you have little moments where you're like, this isn't game. This is me being a human being, talking to another human being, saying, I'm genuinely sorry.
Now, were you allowed to freely chat with the other cast, or were there rules around when you could talk to people?
So it's very organized. So how it works is you get to say who you want to chat with in that day. But for example, if we all wanted to talk to Kyle, okay, the the show's just going to be everybody talking to Kyle. So we throw out 3 or 4 names first thing in the morning, and then they make it so we can talk to one of those people at
Okay.
least. Because like if I request Kyle or Kyle's requested me, they're going to let either Kyle have me and I get to talk to someone else. So I get more than one
Right. Okay.
conversation, but they're not all initiated by me. Yeah.
Was there anything that you wish aired that didn't?
There was a conversation between QT and I towards the end that I wish would have made it because it explains why she put me first in the
Okay.
in that
Oh,
in that in the
yeah.
super secret influencer rating. It explains why. And I think a lot of people were mad at her that she didn't put Miles, but there was a reason why.
Yeah, she played very strategic too. And
Right.
I think people get upset that her boo thing wasn't her number one all times, but you can,
Yeah.
money or love, money or love. What are you going to
Well,
go with?
and that's the other reason I wish they would have left that conversation because it was a very strategic move on my part. I'm not going to explain the conversation. There's a reason they left it out, but it
Mm.
was a very strategic play and it was like kind of like a Hail Mary for me.
Why did you choose to block Miles instead of, say, QT, who was very big into strategy?
When I was playing the game, I couldn't see what the viewers see now. So for me, in my head, QT was a very strong alliance for me. And
Sure.
then also, I was never going to get rid of QT. It just wasn't an option. And then obviously, I couldn't get rid of Kyle because we had bonded so strongly. I would have,
Yeah.
it would have not felt good to win that way. And then I think what a lot of people don't understand is me and Miles weren't close in the circle up until the ride or dies moment, which was at the very end, right before that rating. So I really didn't owe him too much of an allegiance. And like it took away the votes I needed. So he was gonna rate QT and Kyle high. So getting rid
Right.
of him took away votes for both of them. And it kind of saved me.
Yeah, I mean, even though you were very well loved, they had a very strong alliance. So not
Mm.
eliminating one of them, as much as people have said, why didn't you eliminate Jordan? Nobody likes Jordan, blah, 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 blah. That's not the game.
No, and getting rid of Jordan would have done nothing for my game. It actually would have taken a vote away from me because he was already going to rate me high because I don't
Right.
even think he really saw me as a threat. I don't know. It's so hard when you're playing in the game
Yeah.
because you see no other perspective but your own.
Yeah, I think that's hard to remember for us on the other side too, is we see everything going on and it's edited in a certain way that we've got
Mm,
multiple perspectives. You guys have
yeah.
your perspective and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole time you're like, I mean, and it was a hard decision to get rid of Miles. Like I felt bad, but I was like, if I want to win, it's my only option.
Yeah, this was the first season. I really felt like even though there were some people focused on the catfish, it wasn't about getting out the catfish necessarily. It was about playing to win. But you had that great combo of playing with your heart and playing strategically instead of
Yeah.
just focusing, putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, I know for some people it's like catfish, 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 but I didn't feel like I really cared if someone was a catfish because I was making genuine connections. So I was like, if I liked you, I liked you, whoever
Yeah.
you are.
And everybody, even as a catfish, like you, had an element of themselves in their personality. I mean,
Mm.
Caress, Max,
Oh
everybody.
gosh, not Max.
Now, you had seen prior seasons and there was never an AI before. So, how did you feel finding that out?
Oh, I was, can I cuss?
You can do whatever you want,
Oh, good.
Brandon.
I was pissed. I was so pissed. I was like, how are we supposed to be a machine that is smarter than all of us? Like they have vast
Yeah.
knowledge. And I just was like, this is not fair.
Yeah. He's going to eliminate everybody and then the circle just keeps the money.
Yeah.
I think as a fan, I loved it, but they didn't take it far enough. I wanted to see Max keep going. Maybe not for
I
you
will.
guys, but for
Okay,
us.
yeah. For entertainment purposes, I get it. For
Yes.
being in the game, when they said he's gone, I was like, good riddance, you little Xbox. I was over it. I was like, I don't want to hear from the Bluetooth speaker ever again.
Now, how long did it actually take the show to film?
I want to say I was in Atlanta for 21 days, but I think we were in the apartment like 2 weeks. So we started off in a hotel room before we moved into the house. I mean, before we moved into the apartment. And it was like a few days of like doing green screen, like a few more conversations. Yeah. Now there they deliver your meals to you. You're not allowed to leave the hotel room.
That just sounds like a vacation to me. To just
Honestly, it would have been a vacation for me, but I was in a room like basically face to face with the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And I think there was like a Beyonce concert. And I'm like up against my like hotel window and I'm like, help me. They have me trapped.
at least there must have been some good people watching.
Oh yeah. Oh God. That's my favorite thing. I literally ate dinner like sitting in the window, just like watching people go in and out of the venue.
And that goes along the same lines as one of the users from Reddit, Jaded Whiskers, said that they love that you played with your heart for the majority of the game. You deserve to win, which totally agree. No complaints here about that. But how did you feel being a catfish and having to unmask yourself in front of the other players? Did you know you were going to be the last one in?
I did not know I was going to be the last one in, but I will say I couldn't have planned it more perfectly. I was so excited. So when I realized, oh my God, I'm the last one revealed, I I was so stoked. I was so stoked. I think as soon as I turned the corner, I instantly like scanned for Kyle because I needed to see his face. I needed it.
And what a face it was.
Oh God, it did not disappoint. I actually think they had to cut a big chunk of the beginning of that out because I was laughing so hard I could not talk. So like I think at that point it's kind of like, or at least for me it was, I was like, if I don't win, I'm good. Like if I don't win, I'm good. I can't believe I'm here right now. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of that, like you never think, I don't think going in, you actually ever think, you may say it, but I don't think you really think you're going to make it to the finale.
Yeah, it must be, especially because it doesn't happen in real time for us, at least. So you guys film it and nobody knows that you're on the show, and time goes by and you've won this, lump sum of cash. And then it just has to hit so differently from when you win to when it actually airs to when they cut you that check.
Oh my God. Not even being humble, honestly, like at the finale, I had already given into the fact, for me, it was a fact that either QT or Kyle won. So when QT got eliminated, like came in third, you literally hear me say, what? Like it's in the show. I watched it. I was like, you hear me go, what? And then she walks away and I'm just like, the look on my face is like, pure shock. And then in my head, I was like, okay, it's Kyle. Like it's Kyle. And so, yeah, I don't know. Wild. I was so ready to like embrace him and say like, congratulations. And oh my God, Kyle's so amazing. Like it's so on like brand for him to even think he wasn't going to win. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think we were both just like, there's no way we won. Yeah.
Now, I like to think that even if you played as yourself, you would have won, just because you really kind of were playing by yourself as yourself. It's been a long day. Anyway, SC said wants to know, how much attention does Claudia get now?
Oh my God. So I know she gets quite a lot. But I kind of love it because I'm like, girl, like it wasn't all me. Like, yes, I was using your face and stuff. So I don't know. For me, it's like I want to include her in as much as I can because like I couldn't have done it without her, like it is true. Like, I mean, I could have, but I didn't. So she deserves to get to have the experience that I'm having. And I know we're not going to do everything together, but like anything I can, I'm going to try to include her.
And we'll have one last question for now. We'll play a game and then maybe we'll get to some other questions.
Oh,
but
cool.
I think this one is a fun one. How has your life changed post filming and then post airing of the show? And that is from Duck Duck Goose 123.
So, okay. So 2 parts. I think post filming, there wasn't really much that changed. It was very like, you're in a kind of position where you're like, I hope it actually airs. At least in my head, I was like, what if they just decide to cancel the show or anything like that? I was like, it's not real till it's real, So 'cause
Okay.
I've always wanted to do it. So in my head, I was like, I could lose it, That's just my own insecurities. But I think after airing, it's been a whirlwind. Like, I think that's the word I would use in the best possible way. I have received so much love and support that like, I don't even know what to do with all of it. I'm trying to respond. I try to respond to everyone on Instagram, and I just want people to know that I see you and I appreciate you. Like that's so important to me because I've been the person that's messaged someone and been like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan, and I want to be able to give back to people who support me. I just think it's important. So it's been incredible.
All right. Now we are going to do a little Insta deep dive. I have gone way, way back in your Instagram history, your TikTok, your YouTube,
Oh
anywhere I
God.
could find some tea. And we've got a few options. Now, we're not going to get through all of these, but
Okay.
what I'm going to do is Jordan will pop up this on the screen, the picture, the clip, whatever it might be. Just tell us a little bit about what's going on there and then react to it. Tell us what was going through your head in that moment or in this moment right here.
Oh
So
God.
let's
Okay.
start with the first clip.
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm doing stand up at the Funny Bone. I was in it was like a competition. So it was like funniest man in Columbus or the funniest person in Columbus competition. And this was one of my first times like actually competing in stand up. Um, Oh God, that was so much fun. I love my shirt. I'm wearing a I'm not gay, but $20 is $20 shirt. And I just thought it was so ironic.
I watched your clip. How did you do in the show? Do you still do stand up as well?
So it's so funny because I was doing stand up a lot and then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, I I started school, I started working at the hospital. So I just something I kind of drifted away from, but I'd love to get back into it. I write every day. So it's so much fun.
All right. What do we have next, Jordan? What's this, Brandon?
It was my birthday spanking. So I don't remember what age I was turning, but this is at work, at another job I
At
had.
work.
At,
This was
at
at work,
another
you
job.
said?
Yes, at a different job, one not so serious. And they basically it was like a big group of people. They said, you got to come outside, you got to get your birthday spanking. So it was kind of like tradition.
Okay. Yeah. I love how you say birthday spanking, that's something everybody has and does on their birthday. Like,
Yeah,
my birthday
so
spanking.
yeah, so like well, at least in Kentucky where I'm from, it's like you get one spank for every year you're alive.
All right. What do we have here?
Oh my gosh, my face in Entertainment Weekly. I
Yeah.
This to me was like I was like I'm good. If this is the only thing that happens, I'm good. I was just absolutely floored because this was like, I don't know. I remember reading Entertainment Weekly. I remember watching, I think they had a show at one point, or they still do. I remember I was stricken. I was shook.
Now, this is a pretty professional picture compared to what we have for you next.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, let
Please
me
explain
explain.
your wardrobe and what's going on.
So I was writing a script that I wanted me and my friends to do, and I was playing this character that I called Gigi, and she was like an alcoholic New Jersey housewife, and
Okay.
so this is me drinking a cocktail dressed as Gigi. Um, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about
All
that.
right. Now, speaking of scripts, we had in our deep dive found a picture of a script for something that you worked on. So, what's going on here?
So these were the Gigi scripts. I had 6 of them written, and yeah, I still have them. So maybe one day I'll do something with them. I still have them. It was great. It was like a full blown comedy. I was getting like a group of my friends to play the parts, and we were gonna film it out, but life happens.
All right.
So
Now you've got a
maybe
whole
one
new
day.
cast of characters to choose from.
Maybe one day, yeah.
All right. Now, last on the Instagram deep dive, but not least, we'd heard all about Dick's Last Resort from Cassie. So, what did your hat say, and how was your experience there?
I'm so dead right now. You guys
Baby
are great.
Brandon is in the house right now.
Oh, you guys are great. So my hat says, I learned how to eat a banana in band camp. And Josh's says, I'm the banana he practiced on. One of my best friends, that's Josh. We took a trip to Nashville, and our waiter was brutal at Dick's Last Resort. And oh God, we could not stop laughing. I kept that hat for weeks until it got destroyed. But it was the funniest. I could not stop laughing.
Now, Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we've taken quite a bit of your time, and we didn't even get to all the fan questions.
No,
but maybe we can send them to you. I'll send you the link to the Reddit, and I promise there's nothing bad, scary, or rude on there. Tell us what you have going on, where we can see you next, and where to follow you online.
So I have a few things coming up. Just a few events I'm going to, which I'm going to try to make some funny videos about it. And I can't really say what they are yet. I don't think. I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York, and I'm going to LA. But I will be. Keep your eyes out. I will be posting about it before I go. So on Instagram and TikTok, I am B_Randon Baker. And then on Facebook, I think I just used my regular name.
I think you do
too.
All right. Thank you again, Brandon, for joining us. Thank you, everybody who tuned in to say hello. We really appreciate it. And all the fan questions. I'm sorry we couldn't get to them all. Maybe another time, maybe in September when you guys are out here. If you want to follow us, it's at Love Pod Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and on social media. We love you, and we will see you next time.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yes. Follow them, you guys. Or is it
and follow him.
Love
follow
you.
everybody.